Hello, good evening, and welcome to All and Sundry, and yes, everybody. This is going to be interesting. I'm just messing around with, infernal robotics, which may or may not be working correctly. Yeah, it shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing that? That's really not what I wanted you to do. Ah, sigh. Like, how do I make this work? Okay, do that, and then bend. Yeah, you, what the devil are you thinking? This is what happens when you play with beta software, obviously. Maybe if I change the type of symmetry to... Oh no, I can't change the type of symmetry to radial. More Ace Combat. Actually, no, what I want to do is build a copy of the Valkyrie bomber. Because I was talking about crazy-ass rocket fuels, and I did kind of forget pentaborane, right? Yes, I'm trying to build an XB-70. Now, the XB-70 was an experimental bomber. And I'll just kind of explain the important things you need to know is that it had 4 engines and it was designed to be very fast. And in fact, they experimented with something called zip fuels. Now, zip fuels are this very special, chemical fuel that they would use that would push, so it would be used for a very short burn and it would push it up over Mach 3. And as it traveled through those very high hypersonic speeds, the wingtips would fold down like that. And I think the idea was that it would fold those wingtips inside the shock cone, and so it would improve its efficiency, right? The Valkyrie had 6 engines, and they abandoned the... No, I know, listen, Silent Searchlight, I know what you're talking about. But I needed to get in the whole idea of the pentaborane, right? Because pentaborane is kind of a ridiculous thing. It burns green. And the idea would be something called zip fuels, where they would have tons of performance and they would turn it on only for a limited time. And not obviously going to do that, but let's go and just try and build the damn thing. Are the difficulty levels with reasonable numbers of missiles? What do we talk about? What? Okay, so let's just go back. Don't save. So I guess we need to figure out how to build a plane with all these engines. So obvious place to start is, you know what, that nose is kind of longer than I expect. So I think what we need to do. This nose kind of looks more like it, but it is wide, which really isn't correct by any measure, but I don't really have any other options. It's like plain nitro, that is exactly what it is like. The only thing I would say is the shape of this cockpit is wrong. But whatever, we can use this. You know what? Let's do the tailplane idea. Okay, so the cockpit will instead be this, which isn't correct either. No, that nose is too short. Well, whatever, we'll just deal with it. We'll try and figure out how to put 6 engines on it. I just like the idea of plain nitro. That's really what it is. Obviously just sticking on a structural fuselage right now. It does have a pair of little winglets at the front that sit kind of high, so I need to take those and shift them around just a little. There we go. That's them. And then this extends a little further. We could actually start putting like fuel and stuff in here. You know what we could actually do is put... Do we have a cargo bay of sorts? Oh god, all the extra things here. No, those need to be canards, not winglets. They are actually full moving canards, are they? They have flaps on them. Okay, you guys want full functioning canards. I'm just worried that if I go full canard, I get seriously worried that this thing will just explode and disintegrate. They'll tear themselves off. Okay, we're gonna do that. I think there's. I'm trying to see. Is there any dihedral in those? I think I'm gonna put a small amount of dihedral on that. And fuselage again. Structural fuselage in there. And in fact, what I should be doing post this is making come down. The Valkyrie canards are all moving, but they also had flaps. Of course, it had everything. It had every single experimental thing ever imagined ever. So I think to do the transition fuselage, maybe I should try something like... Or maybe I'll just bend it down. That's what I'll do, right? So we'll start putting the fuel tanks in. Where are these fuel tanks? Liquid fuel, Mark 1, liquid fuel. And so we'll just do this. And I'll just bend it. And we'll just integrate that into the fuselage. Okay, so right about here is where we have to start the main wings. And the main wings are kind of just like a straight up delta wing here. Structural wing type A. Yes, so those... What I'm going to do is join those on the bottom. And then we'll fold them outwards, right? So we've attached them straight to the bottom. And grab this. So yeah, I hope people... has anybody watched the video I made today about the rocket fuels? Because... I quite liked it. Obviously, I'm a big fan. I actually have my copy of Ignition sitting right here. If anybody has anything that they would like to, you know, any particular passages they feel are, you know, special to them, I don't know. I may take donations to play them. You bought the Ignition audiobook because of me, but I'm not in the audiobook. I mean, we recorded a chapter of audiobook, but it never went anywhere, unfortunately. People were all about making it happen, and then, yeah, that kind of fell through. Okay, and then we need these big-ass intakes here, right? So the intakes have to start, like, right here. Now, how do we do this? It looks very boxy. And I mean, we need serious intake space. I'm just looking at some of my reference things here. I think what we're going to have to do is actually have multiple intakes and then cheat. So we have these ramp intakes. And we're going to need two of them kind of sitting like that. But to attach them, we're going to need a fuel tank to attach them to. So let's just do that. Fuel tank. Uh-oh. Just do that. Because those ones won't be enough to feed 6 engines. That's what I'm concerned about. So we're going to need to fake some more intakes somewhere. So maybe what I should just do is double up this. But what I really want to do is get the wings folding down stuff going on. And these need to be further back along the fuselage. There we go. That's a bit... maybe a little further forwards. And then I'm going to duplicate these so that we have even bigger intakes. Grab this. There we go. Slide it backward. Slide this backwards. And inwards. I'm going to use soft slide. Oh yeah, that's looking more like the kind of intake we'd expect on this. Maybe we'll just have 4 engines for now, right? I don't know. Like, we're supposed to have a bomb bay in here as well. I don't know how that's going to work. I guess actually the way to do a bomb bay. Okay, so let's take this and we'll duplicate these and we'll extend this down into the fuselage so it looks the part, right? I can't see what anybody's saying because I'm looking the wrong way. Okay. Am I building the Valkyrie? Yes, that's my plan. I mean, it's not much of a plan, but it's a plan. I'm going to put some rocket fuel in this. Should I? He's making a historic, not the one associated with the super-dimensional fortress. That is true. I am not doing any super-dimensional fortress stuff because I am not qualified to do anything so anime. Yeah, let's actually stick a bomb bay in here. Because I think that's what... Or is the bomb bay going to be... where was the bomb bay in the Valkyrie? Was it, like, straight behind the cockpit? Well, you know, the other thing I could do to cheat a bit is just to add, like, pre-coolers or whatever. Where's the part? Stick these on here. Because that could sort of be historically correct. I'm just worried that we're going to be running really low on air. So that kind of makes it look cooler, okay? I think we've got so much fuel in this that we're actually going to have trouble with just straight up lift capability. Like, we're going to be... Okay, let's push that. Okay, why does that not want to connect? Oh, because... You know why? Because I'm holding the Alt key and there's no nodes for it to connect to. Here's the bit where I push the buttons randomly until it rotates to the orientation I need, and then I throw away this bit because it's wrong, and I grab this and slide. And you know what? This last section we're just going to use one of these in the middle. There we go. So finally, one more little section. Structural tubes. Yeah, let's use that. Wrong size. I need 2 of you, though. Why are you not hooking in there? Thank you. Now, I should be able to make this longer, right? Ah, there we go. Okay, so let's just put the 4 engines in right now. Oh, wait a second. No, we want these Whiplash Turbo Ramjet awesomeness. And at this point, I think what I can do is slightly separate these, right? Because we want to give them a bit of room. So how is everyone? I'm sorry, I'm kind of distracted by looking at pictures of Valkyrie and stuff. I think it does need to be a little longer, but I'm just trying to... I'm trying to get an eye for where everything should be. Yeah, it definitely needs to be a whole lot longer. Because this is a bomber that was supposed to cross half of the world. Actually, yeah, you know what? The problem is the nose isn't long enough if I look at the side. I'm looking forward to seeing how hard I can push Kerbal Space Program once I get my new box. My new computer. We don't need that. What is it? Greetings, doing well, and yourself? Oh yes, I'm doing fine. I'm doing alright. Do you feel alright? I do. I feel alright. So, what else is going on? Everybody has seen Solo by now, right? So we can talk about spoilers, right? I mean, all those Easter eggs that pretty much confirmed that, you know, you were happy that you actually spent time watching the Clone Wars, so that you had one up over the so-called fans that didn't watch it, that dismissed it as a children's show, right? Okay, now I'm guessing we're supposed to better not have put spoilers on the back of the Falcon. Yes, that would no, they didn't put spoilers on the back of the Falcon. That would have been just really wrong. It's not quite the shape that I wanted, is it? Okay, we need these tail fins. Where are the standard tail? Oh, these are a little big, aren't they? Wish I had tweak scale right now. That would make these look a little better. Delta Deluxe are going to be too small though. We need a bit more size than that. Canards, definitely too small. What is this? Oh, that's the paraglider thing that doesn't actually work. Airplane tail fin. Oh, wait a sec. This is a smaller tail fin. That may be what I'm looking for. Let's use that for now. I somehow doubt that is going to overcome my stability issues. Those are canards on the front. Okay, let's just stick on standard wings. We're not going to go for the fancy folding ones just yet. I just want to see if I can get this off the ground because lol. Bomb bay is definitely behind. This is where the bomb bay should be. You know what? We don't have components for that. It does actually kind of make sense. Although, how do they deploy bombs that don't drop into the... Put four tails on it, yes. That's one way to do it. I mean, we could... Where is like a straight up big S Delta Wing? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Delta Wing is a little too big. And those Delta Wings are maybe actually the right size. No, actually, they're not that much bigger than that. You know, whatever. Let's put the nose wheel and everything on it. I'm just wondering, you know, it has the nose wheel goes under here, which is going to make it really hard. So I'm going to actually have to stick two nose wheels on here. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to flip those 180 degrees. Oh, come on. Thank you. Okay, we're doing that instead. Put the big tails on the bottom and then flip them up through. What? That is one other option. Yeah, we could do that. We could fake the fins, but I'm wondering how they kind of split around it, huh? The Valkyrie was straight up insane. I'm just wondering how fast this thing will go if I set this up like this. That's really kind of my first iteration. You know what? Also need another set of elevons on the back here. Yes, good for us. We can do like control surface assignment after we get this thing in the air. So where is my center of mass, by the way? Center of thrust, center of lift. Okay, center of mass is in front of my center of lift. Yay! Now I need to put I'm going to put my second set of undercarriage there, and that will give us a point to pivot around. I mean, the small landing gear might just be too underrated for this whole endeavor. God, why am I having such a hard time with the camera these days? It's almost like I'm, you know, not great at this anymore. The other thing I'm going to do is actually rotate this 180 degrees. Page up. There we go. So I can grab that. There we go. Okay, let's try that. Let's just see what happens. Set fuel priority to burn back to front. Actually, I haven't got any fuel in the nose, so the fuel will all kind of burn in the middle anyway. So I think it'll actually be fine. I think I'm going to cut down the noise on these engines just because it seems very loud. Just want to see, do we have any mode? No, we don't have anything. Okay, it takes off on the first go. Oh, almost didn't take off. Okay, well, we're accelerating into a climb just fine. Okay. Does everyone hear this? Yeah, no, it's totally XB. What I want to do is get the tail, these little wingtips folding down. I totally need scatterer here. I like the fact that we are climbing and we are still accelerating. And our thrust is actually increasing, so what we're going to do at some point is I'm going to pitch this into a... like, pitch this down. Oh, speed building up, speed building up. Okay. Okay, we're starting to get high enough. I'm just going to let this kind of settle down towards the horizon. Good. Okay, our that seems to be the point where our thrust is perfect. It's about 12 kilometers, so... I like the fact that my apoapse is going to be 21 kilometers right now. We didn't even try that hard. The problem is that this is going to melt. This is going to fail me before anything else. And the other good news, actually, is that we're not having so much trouble with air intakes. I was worried. Then again, I only have two fewer engines. Yeah, nose is getting pretty hot here. Surface speed is kind of stopped. In fact, we're decreasing. But that's fine. We're going to pick up some more speed as we come down. 24 kilometers, and we're using barely any thrust. But we are actually building up speed again. So we're now going to pitch forwards. It is the XB, but without any weapon systems at this time. Oh, aerodynamic forces is what I wanted. I'm gonna hold this attitude and see how fast we get. At some point, we're probably gonna wake up. Yeah, we'll pull out of this dive once we get to the correct altitude. It is getting pretty toasty. You know what? At some point, I think temperature gauge is all disabled. Okay. I like how my apoapse is still messing around. What's Mach? Your picture is hiding. I don't have... no, I don't have anything up there. All my numbers are here. All the numbers are on the left side of the screen here. You know what's kind of cool is I'm actually pulling out of this dive because of the curvature of Kerbin. I locked the orientation, and because we're moving around Kerbin so quickly, we are actually we're coming out of the dive at around 14 kilometers, which is actually pretty cool. There we go. Thrust is about 170, so we're doing fine. And now, yeah, you'll see that they're gonna drop the nose again, grab it again. So I'm gonna switch modes so we just kind of fly around the Earth, around Kerbin, really. It's not doing too bad. Nearing Mach 4.5, but that's about as fast as we can go, I think. I'm gonna drop the altitude just a touch. So notice that I'm just basically flying this by switching to prograde when I want my nose to drop, and switching to stability assist, to hold orientation when I want my altitude to rise just a bit. Hey, now I am more than boot. What? Okay, I cannot read that comment without laughing. This is what happens when you chew 5 gum and eat Taco Bell. So you know what? I think I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go down and then we're gonna pull up and see how high we can get. So I'm basically getting... No, not infinite fuel. Look at the numbers here. You can actually see that infinite fuel is not enabled. This thing is just basically fuel and nothing else at this time. I mean, I kind of like the fact that I already beat the top speed. Well, that's because I've got special zip fuel technology. So yeah, pentaborane was what they used, and it's kind of a weird molecule if you look at it. They've really some good diagrams online. Okay, we're gonna get this down low, and then we're gonna pull up, go higher. What's the maneuver called when your roller coaster dives and then you pull up to gain altitude? I do not know. There's a maneuver. There's a name for that maneuver. I'm gonna put. So I'm gonna get lower now. I want to get up. 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 G-forces when I pull up are just like basically all drag. Okay, you know what? This is me attempting a slow, careful turn which doesn't generate high G-forces, because that's what will cause lots of drag. I'm just trying to push my altitude up to something ridiculous. 30-degree climb here. Altitude 40 kilometers. 42, 43, 44, 45. Just pitching up. 47. Have I seen the movie Hidden Figures? Yes, I have, and I can even tell you what Euler's method actually is. And I can tell you that Euler's method is what is basically baby's first orbital mechanics integrator. Well, that's nice. Wonder how far we're going to go. Well, we're going to come back down and... Oh, we're going to be coming back down at sunset. Which is kind of nice. Well, actually, it's not. Let's point this the one. It needs about 20% more science. The Hidden Figures is a great movie because it places a lot of other stuff into this whole thing. I mean, obviously it messes with the timeline a little so that everybody can all hang out at the same time. But, you know, I'm a big fan of that movie. Also was very excited today over the weekend, because I went to see Solo, and the first trailer was for 2001. So that means the 70mm version is coming to the Grand Lake Theatre in Oakland. So we're all I'm excited. I was like, oh great, I can't wait to see this. And Sky was next to me. She's like, you're just pretending to like that because you're a hipster. But that was a good night. We ended up going to a friend's house for a barbecue, and friend had a ton of welding gear, and he was like, we could show the kids how to weld. And so we're kind of halfway through this party after having eaten dinner, and we go to his shop, and he's like, yeah, let's do some welding. And then we get Sky, and we get Orion, and a bunch of other kids, right? I have too much hair to be a hipster. This is doing the. Well, okay, let's have to pull this up at some point. I like how I'm totally regaining speed. Oh, whoa. Okay, want to place a bet. Do I hit the ground or does the curvature of the Earth save me? This is totally a recoverable dive. I must have my... If I look that way, I can't hear my engines. Oh, I guess because my engines are behind me. I overheat and explode before either. I think actually we're just about balancing the heating here. Like, the cockpit hasn't exploded yet. So anyway, let's try and get these, let's actually, I'm going to revert one more thing. I want to see if I can land this, because the landing gear is always a hard part. It's amazing how slow this is low on the ground, right? Okay, so let's throttle back just a touch. I don't want to run away completely here, but I do want to go out, come around, land on the runway. It's not like U2 landing here, so slow and gentle landing should be just fine. Well, I like how even without trying, I'm pretty much heading off towards supersonic speeds. Yeah, it clearly needs that boost system. I'm just going to do something really silly here. This is my way of coming over the top and losing enough speed that I can land it. I've plenty of spare power if necessary. Okay. Wow, yeah, it has quite a lot of wobble in its... It needs bigger tails. I totally told you that it needed bigger tails. Fly like Han. Why is the terrain... Oh, the terrain is black. Yes, hold on. Pardon me. Yes, this is a problem. It's... you know what? Yeah. This is a problem with Kerbal Space Program Bandicam... OBS. I don't know what's going on. Whether it's an interaction with... whether it's an interaction with my graphics drivers or what, but it's very... very annoying. With that much thrust, you could cut the engines and yes, I could. But I'm not going to do that because I need... Okay. Okay, I'm going to cut the engines completely now and hope that if I need any more thrust, I can get it. But man, this is hard to... Oh. boy! Got it down! You saw the green land through my landing lights. That's interesting. Have you ever considered making an eco server for your servers? What's an eco server? Is eco the new multiplayer thing? Because no, the problem is that I can't really do a lot of this stuff because I have a day job, right? That really kind of gets in the way of me being a permanent streamer. It does feel like a tiny pointy brick. It does fly like a pointy brick. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is figure out how to make these wingtips fold down, right? And what we have are a few options. So the closed power hinge, the open power hinge didn't work too well, right? Oh, it needs to fold downwards though, right? I mean, first, one option would be that. But that makes it too thick. That looks just ugly as anything. Foldertron? No. What is this? How does a Foldertron work? That's a new part. I'm really interested to see what a Foldertron is. What happens when I push the button on those? Okay, those rotate, huh? Well, that's nice. How's that called? Why is that a Foldertron? Oh, that's for like a thing? What do these do? Yeah, they do the Mexican wave. Hinge Pivotron. Well, that's very nice. If we could have it open by default, that might be the best option. So maybe we should try these. So... and 90, 180. Okay, so we get two of those. And they both go the same way, right? So now... let's rotate this. So... oh, great. It's rotating around the wrong thing. Thank you, not. I'm gonna just put these powered hinges back on. Wait, see how it's disappeared? Oh, there it is. Okay, so that, in theory, looks like it should work, right? Let's see how it folds. Oh, one folds down and the other doesn't. Marvelous. In fact, what happens if you look underneath? This way. Nope. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I guess I could just put two of these on individually, right? Instead of making them symmetrical, I could just eyeball it. If I put it exactly here, and then duplicate one on the other side, I'm going to put my cursor right there. Okay. So now let's try running this, see what happens. It is indeed. This is why it is called Infernal Robotics. IR Build Aid. Okay, so what I gotta do is, well, let's just attach. Let's attach the wing to this. Well, actually, let's reset everything. Okay. Reset, and first thing I want to do, so it was hinging on the bottom, right? Hold on. Yeah, it was hinging on the bottom for this one. So I need to actually flip this around like this, right? And then we flip it around upside down. And again, same here. So that's the way that goes. So I need to just flip this through 108, flip this like this. Right. So now, what are the odds if I actually add the wings that they will behave the way that they look like they have implied they behave? Because I'm prepared to bet that they don't. I'm prepared to bet that they just, like, do silly things. Needs to be in a little closer on the side. Okay, so let's actually see. Oh, look, now at least they are moving in the same, synchronized together in a ballet of aerodynamical awesomeness. I mean, I gotta say, it would be really nice. Why doesn't the Infernal Robotics thing just have a button that lets you flip these? Because it would be really nice instead of having to assign them to separate groups. Never understood why there was never like a button that lets you set the speed of each thing in this menu, right? Like, you'd think this button could do some useful things like set the speed in here. No, this is just your presets list. Just saying, if you are Infernal Robotics developer, the developer of Infernal Robotics, then there are some obvious ideas that many people seem to think would work. Okay. Right wing tip is yes. It's not very in character. Could I play Sea of Thieves? No, I'm not interested in Sea of Thieves because from what I've seen, there wasn't very much content in the game. But I could play Cultist Simulator, which is totally not in my thing. I'm loving Cultist Simulator and hating Cultist Simulator because there's just too much culting going on. Flight surface check. Everything works. See that? Oh yeah. So let's try and get airborne here. There we go. We're going to pull into a steep climb. There used to be an... Yeah, there totally was. I don't know why that disappeared. I am concerned, by the way, that it does seem to be rolling sideways consistently. I don't care too much. Like, it'll just be like that, you know, SR-71C, the one that was built from the two different aircraft kind of welded together and it never really flew straight. What is this headphone situation? It's how I wear my headphones because out of practice. I don't know. I occasionally hear people outside. People are like, your airplane needs more grunt stuff. Okay, we're just gonna hold this attitude. Now look, we're going fast, so let's actually test our, there we go. Oh yeah. Now it's looking the part. If only we could turn off the aerodynamic, if only we could turn off the aerodynamic, like, effects, then we would have a better idea of how this darn thing looked. You can fly the Valkyrie on Flight Sim X. You know what? I bought a while back. I bought some Flight Sim X on Steam Pack that basically had all the planes. Let's try turning. Let's just settings. No, I don't think we can turn off the. We could turn them minimal. There, let's resume flight. There we go. So you can see what it looks like, but it makes it look black instead because it's expected to have all this other stuff. Just noticed you were on. I was busy watching a video by some crazy guy about dangerous rocket fuels. Yeah. Funny how that works. So as I understand it, the idea was that by folding these wingtips in like this, they pulled them inside the shock cone and therefore improved their drag situation, right? I mean, I guess I could go like one step further and make it look like a real space fighter. Oh yeah, look at that. Now I wonder what happens if I try to turn hard at this speed. Anyone want to bet? This is infernal robotics that lets me fold the wings like that. Okay, I'm gonna do a turn back to base. Let's see if it can hold together. Oh wow! It's actually doing it. It does need bigger things. Let's actually just fold the wings back for improved. Whoa! Wow! You feel that? That was certainly not something I expected. I think the Kerbal Space Center is somewhere over there. I think the folded control surfaces probably misbehave because let's actually do this. I'm going to dive down and then we'll go up. What I want to see is what happens when I fold these things in. Like, to start with, when they're vertical, do they do anything? No, actually, these things seem to actually make some differences for my yaw, right? Now if I extend it even further into the inverted orientation. Yeah, they actually do the right thing. See that? So the parts, the individual parts on the rocket are smart enough to swap their control surfaces around, to swap the behavior. Man, that looks great. I wonder if I can fly all the way back home like this. What do you think? Do you think I can glide back to the runway? I mean, I think it's more an artifact of just the way the game works, because each individual part is kind of an intelligent little bit of code that's running. In Kerbal Space Program, I've often pointed out that the rockets aren't single vessels. They're actually a collection of parts flying in very close formation. The wingtips folded 25 degrees and I'm up. Okay. Silent Searchlight has clearly been reading Wikipedia because he knows all the things that we need to hear. Okay, do you think I can glide to a runway with this? It's quiet. Too quiet. Almost like the engines have failed. Where is it? What was the plane that couldn't land? There's quite a few planes that couldn't land. Not for lack of trying. Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to hold attitude here. Silent Searchlight has been obsessed with this plane for so long that you have all the stats memorized. I gotta say, you know, it'd be kind of cool if you could write fly-by-wire systems and stuff for aircraft using the... Whoa! Oh yeah, no, I wanted to glide back. I want to imagine that my engines have burned out and that I'm gonna have to figure out how to fly back. The island runway actually looks like a better option. First of all, though, I gotta get out of this dive. Although, you know what? I think the Kerbal Space Center runway may actually work best of all. Oh, wow, bit of a pivot there. Pilot-induced oscillation. Oh, you know what? That's what's going on. Stability control. That's more like it. Okay, look, we're doing this. Okay, we're gonna do this. I mean, I've got plenty of power, I just like the idea of dead stick landings. I mean, especially in Kerbal Space Program, where I'm usually too lazy to set up a proper, you know, set up flaps or anything like that, so pretty much I have to come in with the engine completely off so that I don't come in with too much speed. It's nice to have flaps and all that, but, you know, effort. Okay, I think we're going to do this just fine. In fact, I think I'm going to have too much energy when I get there, because I'm actually picking up speed. First time joining a stream after watching you for years, and the only thing I get to watch is Scott crashing a really expensive plane into the ground. 10 out of 10, would watch again. I have not yet crashed this plane into the ground. I like how you can bleed off the right amount by fuel experience. It's totally true. Like, I used to be terrible at all this stuff, and I just, you know, you just learned. You just got a lot of feel for everything about this whole thing. Just checking. I think we still get plenty of speed here. I'm just gonna turn it just a touch. Bring up the nose a little. The only problem with this is that it has so much mass that I suspect that, yeah, there's no thrust reversers here. Also yeah, I'm out of electric charge as well. So I'm just worried that I may come into the runway with too much speed. And I'm wondering how much of a turn to put into this to try and get rid of that speed. Like, if I do a hard 90, I might bleed off too much speed, but if I get lined up for the runway, then I can probably just, like, pitch hard and burn off as much speed as I can. Have I heard of the proposal to build a delta-winged X-15 to be air-launched at supersonic speed? I've heard about a lot of these ideas. I heard about a proposal to put an X-15 on top of a rocket booster using the Navajo ICBM rocket engines. Okay. We're getting in low now. I think I'm running out of altitude before I'm running out of airspeed. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm gonna stall just short of the runway here. Okay, we're gonna do this. Oh! Yes! Oh, wait, no, we're going all hyphy on the runway. Wow! Wow! Oh, man! Oh. I thought that was an excellent landing. Oh no, we're getting the weird glitching now. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Yeah, I think that worked great. So now I've built it. Now what do I do? It's kind of embarrassing. I touched down hard as a Harrier. Yes. Oh, man. Bitch and Betty having a field day. Yes. So, I mean, yeah, look, we've got everything working now. Now what do we do? I mean, I guess I could try sticking in... Could we stick an extra engine in there or something to get the zip fuel? Make it bigger. I mean, what, do you think I should take all this off and add an extra nose section? 6 engines, maybe? I mean, we could try putting a weapon system on it, right? I don't know how we deploy weapons, though, because we don't have a cargo bay that works. Yeah, I don't know about that. Longer nose. So the longer nose is actually relatively easy to do. We just get a, structural fuselage and stick one on there. We could actually stick a pre-cooler on there. That's what we should be doing. We should be sticking pre-coolers here. Oh. There we go. Now it looks weird. I think there was any plan for an underslung crew pod, or was that a different sound barrier? Yeah, now it looks like it's too long, if you ask me. So the question is, yeah, I mean, how do we, like, so here's a cool idea. Right? It's too long now, right? But what we could do... Right. So we've got this on here. We've got this all wrong. What we should do is turn this crew pod into a flyable. Let's do what, things that could have been done if they wanted to. Well, we should also fix those... We should fix the thingy, Okay, we've got a canards. Gonna put these in. Now imagine we have a rocket motor here. Just why not, right? Where's the rocket motors that we can use? We're gonna stick one of these in. We're gonna boost it up into orbit. That's the idea, and then fly it back. Now the only problem is we need some sort of fin that can survive re-entry, and we don't really have many of those. Let's just see what the center of thrust, center of mass is like that, and the center of lift is there. So we could actually slide these forward a touch. And actually, if I add I think that'll be fine. We'll slide these right forward to here so that we can... Oh, you know what? If we empty this, it probably moves the center of lift even further forwards. I think we just do the usual trick of sticking a pair of elevons on. And then we'll rotate them. What I'm going to do is, like, launch this thing into space. That's the idea. I don't know how we're going to get back. I mean, I guess I should probably put, like, a landing gear or something underneath it just so it can land safely, right? Just the one. Man, everything's in the way. Hold on. Okay, that's that. So now we need to be able to separate this when we're in the space. So we need to have like a decoupler, which would be this. And then the rest of the plane goes on here, right? There we go. Hopefully that won't explode. But we'll see what happens. I mean, we don't really need all this fuel in here, but I'm just doing this for giggles to see what happens. Start retracted, start retracted. I mean, honestly, this thing will probably not survive. It's a space two-wheeler. Is it possible to recover the aft section? That was the next thing that we can look for, right? We could try and put like a cockpit here. That would be the next step. So that then this thing could have like a mini nose. We could make a docking adapter or something. But I just want to see how this works. I think, you know, the way to do it is to have a crew in there, right? Barely getting off the ground here. So what altitude? I guess we're going to get speed at low altitude and then we're going to pull up into a steep climb. That's what's going to happen. And then we'll ditch this and fly into space. Okay, that's Mach 1. Make it into a speedboat. Yes, we could have a... You know, there were planes with more engines than the XB-70 Valkyrie. There was, of course, the Soviet Tucano plan, which was really, obviously not a plane, but it was, you know, it was a ground effect vehicle. The idea is it would need like 8 engines to get out of the water up to speed, but then once it got to speed, it could turn off most of the engines and fly just the one. Speed still. I mean, we're in the lower atmosphere here, so the air pressure, the drag is... Mach 1 at 450 meters seems unreasonable. And of course, we gotta do that. Oh, I never fixed the tailplanes, did I? Let's try folding in the wings just for giggles. Should do that. There we go, doesn't that look cool? What is the max speed below 1,000 meters? That would... good question. At some point I'm going to pull into a steep ballistic climb, but I'm just not sure when. That looks pretty cool. Oh, we're going for the moon now. That is not a plane, obviously. There's also a Sea Dragon that was supposed to propose an enormous rocket that launched out of the ocean. Yeah, the Sea Dragon was Robert Truax taking an observation he made to its logical conclusion. What he noted was that as they were trying to miniaturize rockets, they were spending a lot of money on exotic materials and stuff. And he then therefore reasoned that the cost of the rocket was actually roughly the same regardless of how big it was for the same like performance. So he said, well, why not just build it out of cheap steel like ships? And thus was born the Sea Dragon. Okay, let's fold these in. And we're going into the climb. Yeah, bit of a roll here. Doing a 45-degree climb. I don't think that's the best performance, actually. I'm going to flatten out. Never mind. I'm chickening out. I'm going to get this flatter and then do the same climb. Bob Triggs, was that? I don't think that was the same guy that did Turbo Neek, but that reminds me, I do need to do an episode on Turbo Neek. You know, because the rocket-powered dragster, rocket-powered engines were just such a great, awesome idea. Okay, so let's actually do the folding away. Yeah, sound effects are mine, obviously. Well, you know, the ultimate goal of BFR is certainly to make every launch only require fuel, but 8 million per launch, I just don't see how they're going to make their stuff reusable enough if they're using so much carbon fiber and composites. But, you know, whatever. Like, okay, here we're going to go. Pull this out into the climb now again. Degree climb seems like a better option. So how much delta V do I have? My second stage has like 2 kilometers per second of delta V, so it should be trivially able to get into orbit. So it's about to bug out. So yeah, that thing could fly back if it wanted to. But this thing will just fly to space, obviously. What are we crashing today? We're creating a version of the XB-70 that can launch a crew capsule into space. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the upper stage control surface... Well, the longitudinal stability is probably been messed up by having these right out in front. Yeah, this thing is managing like 1.5 Gs, even like this. So yeah, totally going into space. Now, the question is, how does it re-enter and land? Like, how well does it re-enter and land? I think we could do a lot of things to improve that part. That's a mistake, doubting Elon Musk. No, I totally doubt many things, and you'll see that Elon Musk has actually failed many times, but that doesn't matter because he just has many other ideas, right? That's just what happens. You know, that's what internet people do, is they keep doing startups and they keep coming up with new ideas. And yeah, Hyperloop may turn out to be a complete load of rubbish, but the people that are out there saying it's going to be a load of rubbish because of X, Y, and Z, there may be one person that's right, and it's the one person that's saying it's wrong because of Q. Any ideas what Bethesda will present in their stream? I think it's going to be a Switch version of Fallout. That's what I want. Not that I have a Switch, but it seems like an obvious thing for them. Yes, fail often, fail fast is a mantra for us, whatchamacallit, internet people. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I see that one of the things that's least likely to work, but then again, if there's technical problems to be solved, lots of reasons why it would work just fine. I mean, it's with many of these things that's more likely to be market and political things that will mess it up. Okay, you know what? I am gonna... Where is that runway here? Darn, I can't see... Oh, is it there? That's the desert airfield. So, I'm gonna do a plane change maneuver. I'm gonna go anti-normal. Because I want to come down in the desert airfield. Direct remaining resources at something that hasn't failed into something that works. And that's how startups have worked for so long. Hoping that I have enough delta V to do this. Yeah, I'm totally getting enough delta V to do this. Okay. Now, periaps is 76. So, that's great. 30 kilometers, but I think I'm going to stop before then. What I want to do is actually come down pretty steeply. Current altitude is 88, so... Yeah, I think that'll be fine for me. You know what? I'm going to turn on, though. I'm going to turn on cheats for the thermals, because I think I'm probably going to have issues with thermals with this crappy spacecraft, so I just want to see how well this flies. I honestly don't know, but I like the idea of this thing flying home. And unfortunately, it's dark. So this could be a problem. Let's go and turn on let's turn on some ambient light. Ambient light boost. Give me some apply. Yes, there, so we can see what we're doing. Here's me forgetting that I was going to be landing over the... Oh, wait a second. Prograde. Prograde. I thought I was going to be landing on the dark side. Actually, we don't need the ambient light boost. What was I doing? Wrong button. Wrong button. You see, this is me. I'm not a master of the settings menu by any means. So you know what? I think I might actually need to go. I'm gonna pop my thing out. I'm gonna fire my engine radially outwards because I want to actually come down. How much delta V do I have? I'm gonna aim backwards. That's what I'm gonna do. About here. Okay, so idea was I lifted my trajectory so I will be coming down faster. But whatever, we're going to see what happens. And I'm going to disable the reaction wheels to pilot only. There. Oh. So hopefully those wings will actually help maintain attitude, because I... Why are we burning power? The reaction wheel shouldn't be doing anything. SAS only. Okay. Setting it to SAS only seems to be burning less power, which doesn't make any sense at all to me. Butros Gali? Yes, Viking Pirate invoking the Fast Show. TV show which, yeah. I kind of appreciated its philosophy of, well, if you don't like this sketch, there's another one along in 2 minutes. What's the goal? The goal is just for, I don't know, for giggles. Oh, suit you, sir. Are you going to launch something later? My, look at the size of your erector set. What's it? My, isn't your strong backs upstanding today, sir? Radiant. Oh. No, it's not Ali G. It's the Fast Show. I don't know how to describe it. Okay. Let's see how we're doing here. Trying to hold attitude. So why is that causing my power to decay faster? That doesn't make any sense at all. The Fast Show was fantastic. And of course, yeah, there was old what's his face who was always like oh bugger. That was the whole thing. And does my bum look big in this? Yes, there we go. Classic, classic, classic. That's right, yes. Ali G had that as well. Sacha Baron Cohen. So telling it to resist turning when in atmosphere will take power, but I'm not... That's what I thought, but why is it taking power when I wasn't? That's what I'm not getting. Like, when I switch it to SAS only, it's not... When I switch it to pilot only, it takes a ton of power, even though I'm not giving any control input. This thing would totally overheat, just so you know. Okay, we're still, where is this landing site? The landing site is right there. Oh wait, there's a Cockpit system in Stellaris. Because, Stellaris has a lot of comically named systems. Bleeding off! Okay, at this point we're about to lose attitude control. I don't think I will have enough charge to land this thing. I think what'll happen is I'm gonna have to fly it on wings alone, and that will just not be stable enough for me. Oh well, I guess I'm totally gonna miss the landing site. Right, Dunbaratu, the problem was that I was setting it to... I wasn't setting it to use SAS. It was when it was in manual pilot mode that it was taking tons of power very quickly. I might cheat electricity if I, you know, come back. I mean, I guess I could reload it. Let's see where we go. I mean, it actually seems to hold attitude pretty well. I just don't think I can glide it far enough. And then, of course, there's the problem that I have bicycle landing gear. Like, so I basically have to slow down and hopefully have still enough control that when I fall over, I'm not going too slowly. I mean, I guess I could just try landing in the ocean, see how that works. I mean, it actually seems to be flying pretty well now. Let's try doing a turn this way, see if we can... See if how we do. I wonder what the glide slope of this thing is like. Yeah. I want to fly my bicycle, I want to fly my bike, I want to fly my bicycle, I want to fly it where I like. Yes. Yeah, this thing is totally going to need electric charge because it just dives. Okay, let's see if I can at least pull it out of this dive. Holy moly! Holy moly! Let's put landing gear down. Yeah, you know what? Let's see what happens. Infinite electricity. Apparently, infinite electricity didn't help me. F9. It flies about as well as a small pebble, yes. Okay, we get infinite electricity on now. Yes, okay. So yeah, we were gonna do... add a maneuver here. Oh, we're not gonna do add a maneuver, I just wanted to warp to here. And then we're gonna do anti-normal. come down over the landing site. Adam and EU VR. What the deuce? Am I excited for the Queen biopic? I mean, we'll see. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I am, obviously. I'm just curious to how it goes. Was disappointed to hear. One thing that I found unfortunate, I guess, was that because of the Queen biopic, apparently they're not able to use Bohemian Rhapsody for Good Omens, which is extremely unfortunate since that was my favourite joke in the entirety of that book, was the fact that any cassette left... Okay, I guess I didn't... We're going to need to burn down a little faster. I just need to get over this. I guess I left this thing too late. When crashing, insert fart noise here. Okay. Now, prograde. So let's see if having the... Let's see if having... Yeah, I mean, I could have moved these things even further forward, right? Yeah, the joke... Yeah, that's also a fun one. The fact that the M25 is actually, you know, an ancient evil prayer symbol. Like a prayer wheel, the traffic running around it produces a continual air of bad juju in London. It's just... You know, it took like several visits to the planning office and, you know, manipulation of various work orders and occasionally just walking around in muddy fields at night moving pegs. I really can't wait to see the adaptation because, you know, I think it is a great book. I have a copy right here. Oh, look. Good Omens. Sits in the background. Also next to Anansi Boys and other stuff. I haven't seen Hogfather. Like, it somehow never made it to Netflix in the US. Okay. I think I'm going to have to turn hard here. So let's try that. Gonna see how this attitude works for me. Maybe I should just do this and see what happens. I think what'll happen is my yep, there we go. Oh, can't quite do it anymore. The funny thing is it's not actually applying that much pitch force right now. Let's just do this. Using the rudder here to turn one way and then the next. Oh, crikey. Slow down! Pratchett's been near the top of my read these already since high school. Well, I've got a few of them that I've tried to get my kids to read, but, you know, they're not... They haven't really got the understanding of popular culture to totally understand all the good bits. Yeah, obviously I need a bit of design work on this upper stage. Did they do Small Gods as a movie yet? I think it would make a good acting talent to portray Brother properly. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes in Pratchett books that really especially make sense for Brits. Like, and that's because, guess what? He was a Brit. Discworld in general was a pretty cool idea. I loved the way that it worked at subverting a lot of the tropes. Oh yeah, Terry Pratchett, you know, he did a bunch of books before Discworld really took off. Okay, we're actually gliding pretty well right now. It's just when we slow down. Strata. Yeah, I've got stratas. I've got carpet people as well. Again, some of the jokes in strata... carpet people only make sense if you're British. There's not that many jokes, to be honest. But... yeah, I'm never making it back to that runway, but I should at least see if I can pull out if I dive. Okay, so I'm gonna go down and see how well I can land this. At least since I'm facing back toward the desert. Yeah, the Discworld game was a little... it was really obtuse. Yeah, I think I need like an approach like that. Let's aim for like a 10 to 20 degree. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, vertical speed is 144. My horizontal speed is 216. Okay. Let's try and kind of stop this. Okay, still descending at 100 meters per second. It just doesn't want to flatten out. Okay. Putting down the landing gear because I am eternally hopeful. Okay, actually my vertical speed is sort of controllable here. Is there a place to look for? Oh, there's my shadow. But I can't now see my descent speed anywhere. It's almost impossible to read my... oh, going down too fast! Too fast! Oh, wow, 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 wow! Oh! I landed it totally, and then the bicycle gear failed. Oh man, yeah, green text on a yellow background, basically impossible to read. Well, you know, that could have been landable. Well, you know, whatever. XB-70, yes. Yes, don't worry, the landing gear survived. Yes, isn't that marvelous? Landing gear, we love you so. Well, back then, by the way, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the adventure style games, it wasn't uncommon for that. Let's go back to quit to main menu. Oh, no, cancel. Let's go back to the Space Center. I think the other thing I want to do is, can I make it fly in such a way that I can recover the thing, right? That's what I want to do. So hold on. Let's open the XB-70 that we had. So let's just fix a few things. First of all, we're just going to do one or two more things here. So we want bigger air tailplanes. And so somebody suggested, yeah, what we should do is cheat. Basically take these and slide them down a little. I think that might just be too big, though. I'm gonna say I think that might be pushing the limits of believability a touch. It might not actually. I don't know. It seems not too unsensible. Right, the next thing to do. So we've got this front stage. We obviously need to move these fins forward a touch to make it landable. That's the next thing. Finally, so what we should do is grab this, take it off. Oh crap, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so here's a problem. I guess I'm just going to put a probe body on here. I was going to say that it would be really nice to put like a little pilots thing in here, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So instead, we're going to stick a probe in here. Just one of these. And we maybe should stick some batteries inside this just for good measure. Where are batteries? Are under here. Okay, that should get us home just fine. It's a plane, not a politician. It look that looks crooked. Yes, it's a plane, not a politician. Yeah, I think that that might work. We've got Valentina on board this time. Oh no 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 no! Pushed the wrong button there. I shouldn't have had that landing gear out. Put on a couple of SRBs. We don't need it. This upper stage has like plenty of Delta V here. Okay, we're gonna do like a 15 degree climb and see what happens. See what kind of altitudes we get to. And then we can do the whole like, and we're traveling through Mach 1, so we pitch down a touch. Are those ramjets? They're the turbo ramjets, the turbo ramjet JX4s. They're supposed to be the ones on the SR-71, or ones very similar. Just gonna let this kind of level out, and then we'll go full-on orbit any minute now. I need fold-out tips on the front canards too. Go, and we're going to pull into a climb any minute now. Okay. 25-degree climb, that'll do us. This plane looks like a slick Predator. I guess that could be correct. Let's see what altitude this gets up to. I mean, we're going at like 800 meters per second already and we're still picking up speed. I think... Well... How far we're going to get before we lose power on this. I don't think that was the best vertical approach that I've managed. But whatever, because we're really just concerned about how this this thing handles itself. We're going to lose power any minute now. Come on, come on, power down! So that's going to fly up to orbit. And we don't care about it though, we want to fly this thing, so we want to see what happens to it. Bye! Sure you'll have fun. The bend is to give intakes smooth air. I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to do, but yeah. Yeah, I think this will probably have issues with stability because we've moved its center of mass backwards quite a bit. Oh, Valentina's going into orbit. We don't care. That tiny little cockpit, yeah, we totally flew it. We could have landed it. We just needed to make some aerodynamic adjustments. Okay. Here we go. And it's getting kind of dark here, so we might need to adjust our ambient light. So the problem is that this thing is really not very aerodynamic. But we do also have plenty of engines, so not being aerodynamic shouldn't be such a big problem for us. Yep, now we've got control back. I mean, not only is it is it a flat front, in fact we have like an interstage in there that's grabbing the air. Yeah, aerodynamics works fine if you have plenty of power. It's flying like a headless chicken, and you know what? It's probably going to land just fine. It's like flying a headless goose. Hey, that's insensitive. Don't you remember Maverick's co-pilot? Trying to get turned around right now. And we get plenty of fuel for flying back. Question is, do I want to just try like a big boost to get high, or do I want to do something else? Have there been any major efforts towards adjustable bell nozzles? I know there's a really old patent for that. I've never seen one in action. There are bell nozzles where there was one where the RL10 had a nozzle extension, but that's about all. Ah, we got a long way to go back home. Out of this. See how much speed we can get up. In the face of drag. This should help with braking though. At least it's aerodynamic again. I suspect that the the thermal capabilities of this probe body are not as good as the cockpit. Now I have the Top Gun theme. Which Top Gun theme? You mean the proper Top Gun theme, or by Harold Faltermeyer, or the Kenny Loggins tune, Danger Zone, which is, you know, a tie-in tune but not really a theme. Just gonna do a skip over the top of the atmosphere for, you know, because why not? I need a bit more thrust, I think. Okay, well, that's as far as we're gonna go. Should put us a little closer to the target. Set as target. There we go. I'm kind of worried that I'm gonna lose sunlight before we get there. Maybe I should go in and adjust my ambient light again. Ugh. Just so people can see what's going on, because it's very hard sometimes to tell what is actually happening here. There's the runway I'm going for. So actually I should get a lot closer, because that orbit, although it showed me coming a long way short, you have to remember that doesn't account for Kerbal rotating. Yeah, Danger Zone. Danger Zone is not the theme tune as far as I'm concerned. Danger Zone just happens to be a hit. Besides, Kenny Loggins' best tune was Footloose. That was actually a legitimate good tune. Danger Zone is kind of meh. But Footloose, that's a legit awesome tune, right? Danger Zone is a banger. You know, let me tell you what's a banger. Footloose. Footloose is like such a great party tune. Terrible movie. Terrible movie, but a great, great tune. Like, many of these 80s tunes just don't age well. Listen, who's the DJ here, Reagan? Reagan Rebellion, seriously. Okay. Let's see how this thing flies. At least we have extra power this time to get us home. Okay, somebody has different opinions on Kenny Loggins. Caddyshack theme, wow! Now, I'm gonna say Caddyshack is a marvelous, marvelous movie, but I honestly have never... I can't think of what the music is from it, so that's the bizarre thing. Just leaving the engines ticking over here. I'm alright, don't worry about me. You know, God, I don't remember that. This embarrassing thing, but yeah, this is a fantastic movie. Okay. The drag is real. I think actually my problem is that because I don't have the canards now, I have real problems with pitch authority. That I mean, I have it, but I don't know. Tim Curry, now there's an underrated performer. Definitely slightly off-center. It wants to roll to the right as I'm doing this. Do I have enough wheels to land? Yes, I do. And we are again losing altitude faster than I'd like, but I am kind of lined up for the runway. Okay, let's get this gear down. Oh! Once again! Once again, a bump on the threshold. Well, there we go. And a second perfect landing. Smooth, like Lando. And then we can fold it away for storage. See? Brilliant. Oh, not quite so brilliant. There, that's it. You love how the rear wings aren't actually attached to the rear bit of fuselage. It did wobble up and down a bit, and you notice we again have this weird graphical glitch. That it's. I mean, this is some Z fighting, but the Z fighting seems to get worse and worse and worse. Clue, yeah. Clue is a better movie than it deserved to be. And I'm so glad that it came out with all the endings on VHS because, like, the movie version didn't make any sense. Anyway, I gotta get going. It's a good night from me. Good night to you. Good night, farewell, thank you very much, etc., etc. Yeah, by the way, hope you guys are watching Doctor Who on Twitch because it's actually fantastic and you will finally get a lot of the references I make. Valentina's doing just fine. Oh, you ain't seen me, right? Yes, people still making references to the Fast Show. Okay, well anyway. Fare thee well, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see more Cultist Simulator. Yes, it's killing me. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make a video about it, but thank you very much. Thank you for watching. See you all. Fare thee well.